Invite a Budget Blinds style consultant to show you how to transform your rooms just by changing your window coverings. Canada's #1 choice for window coverings. Visit budgetblinds.ca today.
Two Lloydminster residents are facing trafficking charges after a weekend drug bust. RCMP made their arrest after observing a street-level drug transaction late Saturday night. A further police search of a vehicle turned up cocaine with a street value of about $30,000. 2 collapsible batons and an aluminum club were also found inside. Another search warrant of a hotel room ended up in a seizure of 135 more grams of cocaine, along with smaller amounts of marijuana, hash oil, and magic mushrooms. A shotgun, pistol ammunition, and a bulletproof vest were also found in the hotel room. 22-year-old Laura Dagenet and 25-year-old Logan Schultz are facing several charges. Dagenet is out on bail, but Schultz was denied. Both are scheduled to appear in court today. Well, Lloydminster has lost its only bowling alley. Border Bowl shut down at the end of last month, leaving residents without a place to play. But one group of users is feeling the closure more than others. As Jeremy Thompson reports, local charities are now on the lookout for a new athletic outlet.
The building sits empty. No more strikes, spares, or gutter balls as of May 29th.
It's awful, and it's awful for the athletes.
Carmen Patry works with the B. Fisher Center and is in charge of supervising bowling outings with the Lloydminster Special Olympics group. For roughly 2 decades, special athletes have been hitting the lanes at what was Lloydminster's only bowling alley.
Bowling is the perfect sport for us because I've got from 17 to almost 70, and they're part of a team. They know they're part of a team, but they get up there and they can do their own thing.
Patry says Border Bowl was in the perfect location. Now just transporting the group will be difficult.
There's 43 of them, so it's a big group of people and it's all their friends.
Now, most people enjoy bowling, but the closure has a wider scope than that. Sure, special needs groups like the one from B. Fisher will miss it, but another local charity group counts on the facility for one of its biggest fundraisers.
We generally raise about 10% of our total budget. So this year our budget is somewhere around $400,000.
Fundraising events are integral to Big Brothers Big Sisters, accounting for half of their total annual income.
We have managed to keep programming the same. We are running 1 staff member less than we'd like to.
Due to sudden closure, neither group had time to react before the facility closed its doors and the phone line was disconnected.
It was sudden, but luckily our bowling season was over, so we do have the summer to figure out something else, a new venue and a new sport.
Now both charities are trying to figure out what to do next. Patry says her athletes are particularly in the dumps. They all received bowling balls, bags, and shoes for Christmas. Jeremy Thompson, Newcap News.
It was a combining of cultures at Winston Churchill School today. As Abba Zawalik reports, the afternoon was dedicated to teaching students about diversity in an unconventional way.
The lesson began with an assembly to introduce the afternoon's agenda. Then the kids weaved in and out of classrooms to get a glimpse of what life is like in other countries.
We want them to learn to respect themselves and to respect others, so that by more knowledge, gaining more knowledge about the background and heritage, recognizing that they all have unique strengths and differences, but that we respect everyone.
Some presentations were given by volunteers, while others were done by students and teachers.
I'm teaching them a little bit about Jews. Not many of the kids have actually ever heard the term Judaism before. So I'm teaching them a little bit about some of the background practices, where we pray, why we pray, and then some of the more fun things like the bat mitzvah and bar mitzvah, the food, because if you're Jewish, you eat all the time, and all of the wonderful holidays we have.
It's fun because I like to see other people's cultures and like what they're doing, and I like to talk about my culture because I think it's a very interesting culture.
The message that the school most wants to imprint in the minds of their students is simple.
Yeah, we celebrate things a little differently, but the fact that we all celebrate something is also what connects us as well.
In total, 14 cultures were represented.
Show occasions.
Well, for For several decades, an area producer has shared his knowledge of grain production skills with students from around the world. As Gerard Lampow explains, it's part of a program that sees Canadian kids visiting other countries and Canada returning the favor.
The biggest tractor we have at home is 340 horsepower. I think the biggest tractor on this farm is 540.
Keith Payton has been playing host to exchange students from all over the world for over 4 decades. 21-year-old Anders Nielsen is following in his father's footsteps, who came to the Payton farm in 1986.
I will hope to learn about how you farming in Canada and see that way you're doing the things.
If you're good to the land will be good to you.
The Wakefield Payton family have farmed in Lilydale since 1905, so Anders is benefiting from 110 years of experience. They have seeded 5,300 acres in the last 3 weeks, but the lack of rain has forced them to turn to other chores.
He'll hopefully have a chance here to run the sprayer. Him and my son will take turns spraying, and I myself might if they're busy doing something else.
While they wait for rain, they have been maintaining machinery and building the shed which will be used for a garage. Back home, his family grows canola commercially. He tells us about drought in Denmark.
5 years ago we have spring with not so much rain, and then we got not so much grain that year. That was a hard year.
Anna McRae is the coordinator for the exchange program.
They started with the organization when almost as one of the first host families, which was started originally by my father, who had been a young person coming from Denmark into the Lloydminster area.
Anders will spend another 6 months with his host family. The weather will add a store of knowledge to the experience of this young grain producer, and Keith Payton knows it firsthand.
The worst thing with grain producing is drought and the world markets.
Gerard Lampow, Newcap News.
Well, it's time to introduce you to the featured animals up for adoption this week at the SPCA. Joey is an 8-month-old border collie, and Garfield is a 3-year-old domestic short-haired cat. Here's Anne-Marie from the SPCA.
Do you like this? Yep. Let's follow the tree. Let's run this way. Come. This way. Come on, come on. Yeah, there you go. Say hello to Joey, an 8-month-old border collie. Joey has been neutered, dewormed, and received his first set of vaccinations, but will require a rabies vaccine after adoption. He may seem a little shy at first, but his attitude changes when he is outside with the fresh air. He is looking for a friend that he can run around with and is great at following and being by your side. Joey may be best suited in a home that's quieter, with no children or older children who can respect his boundaries, so he can take his time to get to know his surroundings. He'd love to meet you, so come visit him today at the shelter. Meet Garfield, a 3-year-old domestic short-haired cat. He has been neutered, dewormed, and received his first set of vaccinations, but will require a rabies vaccine after adoption. He is one curious cat and enjoys exploring his surroundings and making new friends. He occasionally may play with toys when it suits his mood. Garfield loves to receive attention and can sometimes make a great cuddle buddy. If he sounds like your kind of guy, then come meet him today.